I'm going to demonstrate how I did a Halloween haunted garage, and I'm going to show you the video first of what it was all about, and I edited it and add some interesting effects to it, but you'll get the idea of the finished product. But then I'd like to share with you an instructional video of what I did and how I was able to create it in a two-car garage here at my home. Okay, thank you. Try to have a plan before you start, to have an idea where you want to have the walls and everything. So just kind of draw it on a piece of paper and get an idea where you want things to go for your spook alley. So I've outlined where walls and things were going to go. I'm going to have right here in the middle a spook room that goes this direction, and that way the spooks that you have to help you with the planning, they can use this area right here to be able to get around to all the other rooms easily. So this is the size of my garage that I have. It's a two-car garage. It's kind of a deep garage. I end up taking the unplugging the the garage door opener, so that when family comes home, when they hit the button, it won't bring it up. So that's probably good. Now what I've done is I've taken my design and I started out, I'm going to have people enter into the side door here. So if I'm coming through the spook alley, on my map that I had before, the drawing that I had, I kind of did this PVC pipe where I want to have the walls. And I'm going to use black tarp to put up on the PVC pipe using duct tape. And I'll show you that, how I've done that. But I used kind of some of the railing that I had, you know, in the garage for the garage door. But then I've used PVC pipe to show the outline of where things are going to go. And how I typically hung them from the ceiling is I use these little metal eyelets and screwed them into the ceiling, and I just leave them there every year, and I tie them with string. You could use tape like I've used here. It's kind of a quick way, but it's kind of messy at the end. But I would recommend get your scouting skills out and just do like I did over here and lash, and they work pretty well. You just use string and PVC pipe. Here's where I hang the tarp, either right up to the pole and that's how you can hook it up on the pole. Bring it up with your duct tape, or like that. It could be on the other side where the people are on this side and they don't see this part, but this is pretty high up. This is a black tarp in a sheet, and it comes in rolls, and it's a good 9 feet tall, so it's pretty high enough with these pipes that people won't be looking up this high anyways. Okay, as you can see now, I put all the tarps up. I'll be changing the light bulbs to black lights, so the ceiling won't detract. But as you come in, this will be the cemetery area. Don't worry about the tape that you see, because it's going to get covered with like certain wallpaper and stuff. But you can see I made some slits in plastic to kind of make the doors. So it makes hallways. This is where the spooks are going to be able to grab people or whatever. This is an area I'm going to still block off for probably a scarecrow that will go there. And then this will be a room. But notice this wall, the spook wall, is right in the center of the garage. So that way they can get to different parts easily. This is a room where I'll probably do someone getting electrocuted. And then in here, we're probably going to do some kind of a mummy thing or some kind of thing in here. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of show you how the tarps worked to create a room. And I've taped them down to the floor. You know, they're flexible, but people won't run through them like chaos. I've done this for a couple years now, and it works great. Anyways, towards the end will be a long hallway where we'll get the last screens in. Here's a cool way to be able to hook up one of these portable DVDs and be able to hang it on the wall and then punch a hole through the tarp and just show it around the projector screen. So as you can see, I just wrapped that right around the neck of that projector, and then I could punch a hole right into the tarp, and these tape right around the screen. You just put the edges right there to it so it's right up against the plastic, and then people could see it from there. Anyways, that's kind of you could play a spooky part in a movie or something, be a scary face right there. Okay, so now I'm putting the wallpaper type stuff on the black tarp. This is going to be the cemetery area. I'll be putting some tombstones and things along here, and they'll come up against the wall right here. And then I'll have some spooks reaching their hands out. And then I'll be putting some more decorative stuff in the air right here. So you go through here, and there's a hallway, and I'm going to have a movie screen down that shows the ring a little bit. And then I'm going to have a little girl that's dressed up like the ring per goblin and come out from underneath. And then over in here, this is kind of the, I'm going to put a scarecrow guy right here, and he'll act like he's stiff, and then all of a sudden he'll come alive and start heading towards people. And I'll have some spooks in here. Again, this is some cobweb that if you put it under black light, they glow in here. And I'll be putting some cobweb stuff in here. This next room, I'm going to have a electrical chair and have some kind of a person in the chair getting electrocuted. And then in this room, it's my skeleton room. I'm going to have a cauldron here in the middle. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put a spook in this little shelf area that I have right here. I covered up, I had some shelves right there. I covered up around the shelves and just left one area open. You can actually fit someone in there, and they can, we could do like a mummy in there, or make it a table looking thing with candles and stuff. But I went ahead and tied this skeleton kind of up in the chains right here. And I'll have a cauldron here, and then I'll have a little fire, fake fire down below. And then I'll have some dry ice and stuff brewing in there. Anyways, this is the wallpaper that I have. And I'll slit some holes in here, which will have some spooks. Again, on the other side of this wall, this is the spook room, and so the spooks can go all around and scare people through the wall if they wanted to. And then, last but not least, you come this way and you come into a dark area, and I have a, can't see it, but I'll have some red eyes glowing, but it's a ghost goblin right here, and he'll kind of be the entranceway. You got to go through the ghost in order to get out. Again, my spook area, again, it's kind of dark, but this is going to be a room behind all the walls, because they go around kind of in a circle. And anyways, this is the room. I have some stuff for them. Anyways, what I have here is the fog machine hooked to a PVC drain pipe with holes in it. And I punctured the holes where I wanted them to be in the pipe.
because I got a plain pipe without holes in it. Okay, so I'm gonna fill the cemetery right now. I have this going in and underneath into the cemetery right behind this wall. Here's an idea what you can do to have a creepy light in your garage. This is a black light, and you can buy these cords to fit the black light in, and you can just tie it up and see how that's where my light bulb would go in the garage. Well, I have a solution to make it an outlet. You buy one of these things in the hardware store in the electrical department, and you could screw it up into the light socket and it becomes an outlet, and then you could plug a cable into that and string it right over to the area where you're at, and it leaves a kind of a dim light, but yet a light enough to be able to see things in a shadowy effect. So anyways, black lights are good with cobwebs, especially the fluorescent kind. Hope that helps. In the cemetery I used a cloth that I had in photography, and I laid that on the ground. Someday I'll put dirt here, but this is a nice quick indoor way of making a cemetery. And then I use this creepy cloth, and I have a jack-o'-lantern right here. You've got a little mummified skeleton right there, and another skull right there, and some creepy cobweb stuff here. So I added that with the wallpaper. You should see it shows a fence with some other tombstones behind it, so that gives the effect in the light. On this wall, I can have spooks grab people through the wall, because what I try to do is make the path kind of hug right up against the wall here, so that you could grab people this direction. So that's and then back into the ring part, what I did here was I added some brick to kind of make part of the well here, and then I put the TV set hanging through that wall right there, which added the effect. And then inside the scarecrow room, all I did was hang a white sheet up with a light, that red bulb that shines upward, and then I added some corn and some other brush to kind of give it that effect. Again, this closes, I wallpapered this room with spider stuff, and can then tie it in with a big heaping lot of web stuff here in the room. In the electrician room, it's just a simple dining room chair that I use, but eventually I want to build an electric chair, and all I did was add one of those funky spin lights, and I made a little black tarp area so that all you see visually is the spinning creepy light. The next room is the witch's brew and the crazy guy in a bubble, and I borrowed this from a friend who got this at Costco, and you can put it's a microphone, or it has its own thing in you, so you can put some weird noises in. Welcome to my lair. And then I have this candle that just uses as a backdrop, and I have this skull that has fog coming out of it. And I added some chains and a skeleton part here, hanging like he's hanging in a dungeon. And then I have a cauldron right here, and I have this flame that I have underneath. It's electric, and it makes it kind of nice because it's not a real fire, but it adds to the ambiance. And then another fog thing inside of here to make it creepy. Then I added cobwebs inside here with some creepy wallpaper, skeletons and swords. And then at the end of the hall, before you go out, I have this big, huge, creepy guy. And I used him in other places in other years, but I put him right here. He has creepy eyes and big hands. Anyways, the victims have to go underneath this guy, and this really scares them. And this is the spot where I have the ring girl play her part in here. And then it just kind of creeps through. And then I scare someone right at the last minute with that another creepy, and then I go on out.